Ladies and gentlemen, there is one truth we must all understand. If someone truly wants you in their life, they will make room for you. They won't leave you wondering where you stand. They won't treat you like an option while you treat them like a priority. No, when someone truly values you, their actions will show it. But today, I want to tell you something even greater. The greatest assurance of love, the most undeniable proof of belonging, does not come from people. It comes from God. You see, people may come and go. Some may love you today and forget you tomorrow. But there is one who has never wavered, one who has never given up on you. His name is Jesus Christ. Love is not just something we say. It is something we do. It is easy to speak words of affection, to make promises, and to express feelings in the moment. But true love is revealed through actions, not just empty words. Words can be spoken without sincerity, but actions require effort, sacrifice, and intentionality. It is through what we do, not just what we say, that love becomes real, tangible, and undeniable. Too often, people rely on words to express love, yet their actions contradict them. A person can say, "I love you," but if their behavior does not reflect that statement, the words lose meaning. Love that is only spoken but not demonstrated is shallow and unreliable. Real love is consistent. It does not waver based on emotions, circumstances, or convenience. It endures, it fights, it stands firm. Love is not just a passing emotion. It is a choice that requires daily commitment. In relationships, this truth is evident. A friend who truly values you will not only say they care, but will show up when you need them. A spouse who genuinely loves their partner will not just make romantic declarations, but will stand by them through struggles and hardships. A parent's love is not measured merely by affectionate words, but by their willingness to sacrifice for their children's well-being. Love is proven in moments of difficulty when actions speak louder than words ever could. The greatest example of love demonstrated through action is found in God Himself. God did not merely tell us He loves us, He showed it. He did not sit back and send words of comfort from a distance. Instead, He stepped into our broken world, lived among us, suffered for us, and gave His Son as a sacrifice for our sins. Love does not get any clearer than that. It was not just a message, it was an act of ultimate sacrifice. True love costs something. It requires giving, selflessness, and sometimes even pain. Love without action is empty, but love that is demonstrated through sacrifice is undeniable. When we look at Christ, we see love in action. He did not simply tell people He cared for them. He healed the sick, fed the hungry, comforted the broken, and ultimately gave His life. His love was not just expressed in words. It was proven through what He did. He could have remained in heaven, distant from our pain, but love compelled Him to come close. He chose the nails, the suffering, and the cross because real love does what words alone cannot. Love is patient. It does not rush to anger but chooses to understand. Love is kind, putting others before itself. Love does not seek its own benefit but sacrifices for the good of others. These qualities are not just abstract ideas. They are lived out in action. When a person truly loves, they are willing to go the extra mile to forgive, to give selflessly, and to remain faithful even when it is difficult. Unfortunately, in today's world, love is often treated as a fleeting emotion rather than a steadfast commitment. Many say they love, but when circumstances change, their love disappears. True love does not walk away when things get tough. It does not abandon or betray. It remains. It fights for what matters. It does not wait for perfect conditions to act. It chooses to love even when it is inconvenient, even when it is undeserved. Think about the relationships in your life. Have you ever been told you were loved, only to be left feeling forgotten or unimportant? Have you ever been promised commitment, only to experience betrayal? Words can be misleading, but actions reveal the truth. If someone truly loves you, they will show it in how they treat you, how they prioritize you, and how they stand by you in both good times and bad. At the same time, love requires us to examine ourselves. It is easy to expect love from others, but are we demonstrating love through our own actions? Do we serve those we claim to love? Do we sacrifice for them? Do we remain faithful even when it is not easy? Love is not about what we say. It is about what we do. If you want to know what real love looks like, look beyond words. Look at actions. Look at the effort someone is willing to put in. Look at how they treat you when no one else is watching. And above all, look at the cross where love was not just spoken but proven. When someone truly wants you in their life, they will pursue you. There will be no mixed signals, no confusion, and no uncertainty. Genuine desire is always accompanied by effort. When a person values something, they go after it. They don't wait for circumstances to be perfect, nor do they allow distractions to deter them. They make it a priority. This principle applies in friendships, romantic relationships, and even in our spiritual lives. Pursuit is the evidence of value, and where there is real value, there is undeniable effort. In human relationships, one of the clearest signs that someone genuinely cares about you is that they are willing to invest time and energy into your life. They don't leave you guessing about where you stand. They don't disappear when things become difficult. Instead, they show up, they stay consistent, and they prove through their actions that they want to be a part of your life. It does not matter how busy they are, how many responsibilities they have, or what challenges they face. When you matter to someone, they will make the effort. They will not treat you like an afterthought or only reach out when it is convenient for them. We live in a world where many people offer only half-hearted affection. They say they care but do not follow through. They claim to love, yet their actions show indifference. But true love, real commitment, does not operate that way. It does not make excuses. It does not disappear when things get inconvenient. It does not wait for the perfect moment to act. If someone genuinely wants to be in your life, they will prove it not just in words, but in the way they pursue you with consistency, effort, and intention. Think about the things in life that people work hard for. When someone wants a career, they put in the effort. They train, they sacrifice, they stay up late studying, they push through obstacles. When someone wants to be successful in anything, business, athletics, or personal growth, they pursue it with dedication. They do not sit back and hope for things to work out. They take action. If people can put in such effort for worldly achievements, how much more should they put in for the people they claim to love? Pursuit does not mean mere infatuation or temporary excitement. Many people chase after something only until the thrill wears off. But true pursuit is not based on momentary feelings. It is based on deep value and commitment. When someone genuinely wants you in their life, their pursuit does not fade over time. They do not only chase after you when they need something. They do not suddenly lose interest when challenges arise. Instead, their actions remain consistent because their desire to have you in their life is real. We also see this truth in the way God pursues us. Unlike people who love imperfectly, God has always pursued humanity with perfect, unwavering love. He does not wait for us to come to Him. He comes to us. Throughout history, He has reached out, called us to Himself, and shown His love through action. He pursued us when we were lost, when we were broken, and when we had nothing to offer in return. He did not just tell us He loved us. He proved it by sending Jesus to pay the ultimate price for our salvation. That is true pursuit. Sacrificial, relentless, and never-ending. God's pursuit of us is the greatest example of what real love looks like. He does not leave us wondering where we stand with Him. He does not give up on us when we make mistakes. He does not love us only when it is easy. Instead, He pursues us with a love so deep that nothing can separate us from it. If the God of the universe sees us as worth pursuing, then we should never settle for human relationships where we are treated as an afterthought. Many people find themselves stuck in relationships where they are always the ones making the effort. They are the ones reaching out, planning, checking in, and trying to hold everything together. But love should never be one-sided. A relationship where one person is constantly chasing while the other remains passive is not built on real love. Love should be mutual. Both people should invest, both should care, and both should show through their actions that they truly desire to be in each other's lives. If someone wants you in their life, they will not make excuses. They will not keep you wondering. They will not give only when it is convenient. Instead, they will pursue you with intentionality, consistency, and care. They will make time, they will put in effort, and they will show through their actions that they truly value you. Because where there is true desire, there is pursuit. And where there is pursuit, there is love. If someone truly wants you in their life, they won't keep you guessing. You won't have to wonder where you stand with them. You won't have to analyze every interaction, trying to decode their words or actions. You won't be left questioning whether they care, whether they are committed, or whether you are important to them. When someone values you, their intentions are clear. Their actions match their words, and their presence in your life is consistent. Uncertainty in relationships can be exhausting. It leaves you feeling anxious, constantly trying to figure out how much you truly matter to someone. When a person genuinely wants you in their life, they remove that uncertainty. They do not play games, send mixed signals, or make you feel like an afterthought. Instead, they communicate openly, treat you with respect, and show through their actions that you are a priority. Love does not thrive in confusion. It is not built on inconsistency or half-hearted effort. True love brings clarity, assurance, and peace. People who genuinely care about you will make an effort to make you feel secure. They will not leave you questioning whether they appreciate you. They will not disappear without explanation or ignore your feelings. They will not only be present when it is convenient for them. Instead, they will be consistent. Their words will align with their behavior, and they will make it known that they want you in their life. Relationships should not be a guessing game. You should not have to chase after someone just to get basic attention, respect, or acknowledgement. When a person truly values you, their commitment will be evident. The same principle applies to all kinds of relationships, whether romantic, friendship, or family. A true friend will not leave you wondering whether they care. They will check in on you, support you, and make time for you. A person who is serious about a relationship will not make you feel uncertain about their feelings or intentions. Instead, they will pursue you with clarity and purpose. Love is not meant to be confusing. When someone truly wants you, they will not make you question whether you are wanted. We see this principle most perfectly demonstrated in God's love for us. God does not keep us guessing about His love. He has made it clear, time and time again, that we are wanted, valued, and cherished. He does not love us one day and ignore us the next. He does not leave us wondering if we are important to Him. Instead, He proves His love through His action. He has given us His word, His promises, and His sacrifice as evidence of His unfailing love. He does not play games with our hearts. He does not send mixed signals. He does not love us only when it is convenient. His love is steady, constant, and everlasting. Human relationships should reflect that kind of love. If someone truly wants you in their life, they will not make you feel like an option. They will not leave you feeling unsettled, wondering if they truly care. They will not show affection one day and distance the next. Instead, they will be clear. They will be present. They will make the effort to ensure that you know where you stand. Unfortunately, many people settle for relationships where they are constantly left guessing. They hold on to people who are inconsistent, who only show up when they need something, or who refuse to provide the clarity and commitment they deserve. But love should not be confusing. When someone values you, they will not keep you in a cycle of uncertainty. They will not make you feel like you have to prove your worth to them. Instead, they will make you feel safe, secure, and cherished. If you find yourself constantly wondering where you stand with someone, that in itself is an answer. A relationship that keeps you guessing is not a relationship built on real love. Love should not bring confusion, it should bring confidence. It should not make you feel unsure of your place in someone's life. Instead, it should provide assurance that you are valued and wanted. When someone truly wants you in their life, they will act like it. They will show up. They will communicate. They will put in effort. They will not leave you trying to read between the lines or guess their feelings. Love should not be uncertain. It should not leave you in doubt. The right people, the ones who truly care, will make sure you know without a shadow of a doubt that you belong in their life. True love requires effort and commitment. It is not just a feeling or an emotion that comes and goes with circumstances. Love is a choice, a decision to stand by someone through the highs and lows, through the good times and the difficult moments. It is not about convenience. It is about consistency. Many people believe that love should always feel easy and effortless, but the truth is, anything valuable in life requires work. Relationships that are built to last are not sustained by fleeting emotions, but by a willingness to invest time, energy, and dedication. When two people love each other, they must be willing to put in the effort to nurture and protect that love. It is easy to show affection when things are going well, when there are no misunderstandings, and when everything feels exciting. But true love is tested in moments of struggle, when patience is required, when forgiveness is necessary, and when life presents challenges. It is in those moments that real love is proven, not in words alone, but in actions that show perseverance, loyalty, and selflessness. Love demands commitment. A person who truly loves does not walk away at the first sign of difficulty. They do not withdraw when circumstances become complicated or when differences arise. Instead, they choose to work through problems, to listen, to understand, and to fight for the relationship. Commitment means staying even when emotions fluctuate, even when life gets hard, and even when it requires sacrifice. It is about making a conscious decision to remain devoted, even when it is not easy. Love requires constant effort because people change and grow over time. No relationship remains exactly the same. Life brings new experiences, challenges, and transitions. If love is to endure, it must be nurtured intentionally. This means prioritizing time together, making sacrifices, and continuously choosing to love despite imperfections. It means putting in the work to understand each other, to communicate effectively, and to ensure that love does not fade due to neglect. Many relationships fall apart not because love disappears, but because people stop putting in the effort to keep it alive. Effort in love is demonstrated in many ways. It is seen in the small, everyday acts of kindness, in the willingness to compromise, and in the patience to listen when misunderstandings arise. It is found in choosing to encourage rather than criticize, in making sacrifices for the well-being of the other person, and in standing by them even when life gets tough. Love is not just about saying the right words. It is about proving them through consistent, intentional actions. Commitment means being present both physically and emotionally. It means showing up even when life is busy, even when there are distractions, and even when difficulties arise. A person who is committed does not just offer love when it is convenient, but makes an effort to be reliable, dependable, and unwavering. They do not allow temporary frustrations to destroy something valuable. Instead, they persevere, understanding that true love requires resilience. The greatest example of love that required effort and commitment is found in God Himself. His love for humanity is not based on convenience or fleeting emotions. He does not love us only when we are at our best. Instead, His love remains constant despite our failures, despite our mistakes, and despite our imperfections. He chose to love us with an everlasting love, a love that required the ultimate sacrifice. Love is not meant to be effortless. It is meant to be enduring, and true love is demonstrated through the willingness to give, to serve, and to remain faithful. Many people desire love but are not willing to put in the work required to sustain it. They expect love to be effortless, to always feel good, and to never require sacrifice. But lasting love does not happen by accident. It requires choosing to love even when emotions fade, even when challenges arise, and even when the world offers easier alternatives. Love is not just about what is felt in the moment, it is about what is chosen every single day. Effort and commitment are what separate real love from infatuation. Infatuation is temporary, based on emotions that rise and fall with circumstances. But true love stands firm. It does not retreat when difficulties arise. It does not give up when things become hard. Instead, it pushes through, fights for what matters, and chooses to remain faithful, even when the road is not easy. Love that lasts is love that is actively pursued, intentionally cultivated, and steadfastly committed. Sometimes being left out is God's protection. It may not feel like it in the moment, but when doors close, when people walk away, or when opportunities slip through our fingers, there is often a greater purpose behind it. It is easy to feel rejected, overlooked, or forgotten when we are excluded from something we desperately wanted to be a part of. But what seems like rejection is often divine redirection. God, in His wisdom, removes things from our lives not to hurt us, but to shield us from harm, distractions, and detours that could take us away from His perfect plan. There are moments when we pray for a certain relationship to work, but instead it falls apart. We ask for a job, but we do not get it. We long to be included in a group, but we remain on the outside. In these moments, it is easy to question God's intentions. We wonder why He is allowing us to feel this pain, why He is letting others move forward while we are left behind. But what we cannot see in the moment is that God is not withholding something good. He is protecting us from something that is not meant for us. He knows what we do not. He sees the hidden dangers, the unseen struggles, and the long-term consequences of paths we might desperately want to take. When God removes people from our lives, it is often because they were not meant to be part of our journey. Not everyone who enters our life is supposed to stay. Some people come for a season, but if they are not aligned with God's purpose for us, He will allow them to walk away. It might hurt, but the absence of the wrong people makes room for the right ones. If we were included in every group, welcomed into every opportunity, and accepted in every situation, we might never experience the fullness of what God truly has for us. Sometimes, exclusion is a blessing in disguise. The Bible is filled with examples of people who faced rejection only to later realize that it was God's hand guiding them to something greater. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers and sold into slavery. He was forgotten in prison and overlooked by those who could have helped him. But what seemed like abandonment was actually preparation. God was positioning him for a purpose far greater than he could have imagined. If Joseph had never been left out of his family's plans, he would have never risen to a position where he could save an entire nation. David was overlooked by his own family when Samuel came to anoint a king. While his brothers were lined up for consideration, David was left out in the field tending sheep. Yet, the one who was ignored by man was chosen by God. Being left out did not mean he was forgotten. It meant he was set apart for something greater. When we feel left out, it is easy to think we are missing out. But what if God is actually protecting us from unnecessary pain? What if He is closing doors to keep us from settling for less than what He has prepared? The friendships that ended, the relationships that didn't work, the opportunities that passed us by, none of it was by accident. God is strategic. He removes what is not meant for us so that we can receive what is. In hindsight, many of us can look back and thank God for the times He did not give us what we once desperately wanted. We can now see that what we thought was rejection was actually protection. The things we cried over, the disappointments we struggled with, and the places where we felt excluded were often the very things that led us to something far better. God's protection does not always look like a shield preventing harm in the obvious way. Sometimes His protection looks like loneliness. It looks like being left out. It looks like unanswered prayers, but in those moments He is working behind the scenes, arranging things for our good. The next time you feel left out, remember that God does not make mistakes. If He allowed you to be excluded from something, it is because He has something better in store. He is not punishing you. He is preparing you. He is not withholding from you. He is leading you towards something greater. Trust that His plans are higher than yours, and what feels like rejection today may one day be the reason you thank Him for His divine protection. The greatest place to belong is in the hands of God. In a world that constantly changes, where people come and go, where acceptance often feels conditional, and where hearts are sometimes broken, there is one place where we are always safe, always loved, and always known: God's hands. His hands are steady when life is uncertain, strong when we feel weak, and gentle when we need comfort. No matter where we have been, what we have done, or how far we may have drifted, His hands remain open, waiting to receive us. People spend their lives searching for a place to belong. Some seek it in relationships, hoping that another person will complete them. Others look for it in career success, believing that achievement will give them worth. Some try to find it in social circles, thinking that acceptance from others will fill the emptiness inside. But every earthly place of belonging is temporary. People change, jobs come and go, and even the strongest friendships can shift over time. The only place where true belonging is found is in the presence of God. God's hands are not just a place of belonging, they are a place of protection. When we are in His hands, we are shielded from harm, covered by His grace, and kept in perfect peace. Life may throw storms our way, but His hands hold us steady. There is no safer place than being held by the One who created the universe, the One who knows every detail of our lives, the One who loves us beyond measure. He does not let go. He does not abandon. He does not forget those who belong to Him. The world may tell us that our worth depends on what we do, how we look, or what we achieve, but God tells us that our worth is found in Him. He created us, designed us with purpose, and calls us His own. In His hands we do not have to earn love. We do not have to fight for acceptance. We do not have to prove ourselves. We are already chosen, already loved, already secure. Many people struggle with rejection, feeling as if they do not belong anywhere. They carry wounds from being left out, from broken relationships, from places where they were not wanted. But God's hands remain open, ready to welcome anyone who comes to Him. He does not reject those who seek Him. He does not turn away the brokenhearted. Instead, He draws near, offering healing, peace, and a love that never fails. Throughout Scripture, we see that those who placed their lives in God's hands were never forsaken. David, though overlooked by men, found his strength in belonging to God. Joseph, though rejected by his own brothers, was lifted up by the hand of God. The disciples, though imperfect and unqualified by the world's standards, were chosen to walk with Jesus and be part of His plan. When we are in God's hands, we are not defined by the opinions of others, but by the One who holds our destiny. God's hands are not just a place of security, but also a place of purpose. When we surrender our lives to Him, He leads us into a life greater than anything we could create on our own. He guides, directs, and shapes us into who we were meant to be. In His hands, we are molded like clay in the hands of a potter, transformed into something beautiful and useful for His kingdom. No matter what we face, no matter how lost we may feel, there is always a place where we belong. That place is not found in the approval of others in success or in anything the world offers. It is found in the loving, unshakable, and everlasting hands of God. He alone provides the belonging our souls crave, the security our hearts need, and the love that never ends. When we rest in His hands, we are home. When we place our lives in the hands of God, we find the belonging we have been searching for all along. The world may change, people may come and go, and circumstances may shift, but His hands remain steady, unshaken by time or trials. In Him, we are fully known, fully loved, and fully secure. There is no greater comfort, no greater peace, and no greater place to belong than in the hands of the One who created us, redeems us, and holds us forever. No matter where life takes us, may we always remember that our true home is in Him.